My brother's probably one of the most determined people I know in my life. He plays wheelchair hockey, basketball, all that stuff, went to school. So it's a mindset thing to be great. In my courtroom, the house I grew up in, excuses were him. 241021, that's 7 people in the state of Michigan versus Tristan Robinson, appears for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. Working on behalf of the people.
Likely to be up to the defendant.
So we're here for a probation violation.
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, my client would be willing to admit responsibility, plead guilty to the violation, giving up his right to a hearing.
Please raise your right hand, sir. You have a right, put your right hand down. You have a right to a probation violation hearing, contesting that you violated your probation. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. If I find that you did not violate your probation, I can continue. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
If I find that you did, I can take you off probation. I can continue your probation with modifications. I can extend your probation, or I can take you off probation and possibly put you in jail. Do you understand? And you want to waive your hearing and plead guilty to failing to enroll and attend and complete domestic violence course, failure to enroll, attend, and complete failure to pay. Is that correct?
Sure.
All right. I find that Mr. Robinson's waived his hearing knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily. He understood the consequences of doing so. He has not disclosed anyone on the record threatening him, promising, enforcing the waive his right to have his hearing. So on his behalf, Mr. Nick.
Your Honor, first off, I want to address the fines and costs that were unpaid. I spoke with both Mr. Robinson and his mother. My client is on SSI, so he's on a fixed income right now. We spoke about he's trying to work and get some things going on where he can find a job that would work for him, but he is receiving money from Social Security Administration. I do have verification of that with me if the court would like to see that. But that, I believe that kind of explains some things. He's on a fixed income. Currently, his mother is helping him with his payments for everything. He's in his own home, but obviously he's on assistance, and that money's not going very far. He gets $994 a month. I believe he also gets $200 a month in food assistance, which it's not very much to work on. I did speak with him and his mother regarding some of the problems with some utility bills that got out of hand and other matters like that, where his mother is in charge of finance. Like I said, she understands that this is also important, but at that time she was just worried about emergency or the immediate needs that he had for just basic necessities of life. Additionally, I don't know if it's been properly explained. My client has some issues where he has some difficulties dealing with things like the sentence of this court, where he has, he's had an IEP, he's had some diagnoses. I do have, again, verification of that and things that that I was provided, where he's struggles, with dealing with, some things that other people might find easy. I don't know how well this was brought up before in your previous cases. He does assist with his mother. He does have the gentleman who you asked to know his name, Mr. Maddox. He does work with a mentor program. I believe it's called Vision Behind Bars, where they do volunteer work, and it's the purpose of the organization and Mr. Maddox, who is his mentor, to kind of try to prevent people, young men especially, from going down the wrong paths. And he's been a part of that for several years. And I believe if you would like, Mr. Maddox would be willing to speak and address what he has been doing with Mr. Robinson. So I guess the main point is, when I look at the violation report, it seems like, well, here's a guy who just doesn't care, doesn't want to do anything. But from what I've heard and understood, he helps out with his family because of his program. He's doing a lot of other things in life, but when he gets 5 tasks given to him at once, it gets a bit beyond his ability to focus on that.
Right. And
handle it.
I don't mean to cut you off, but there's a reason why they tell people on the plane to put your mask on first. There's a reason why, I use myself as example. People like, Jeremy, take care of yourself, right? The point guard of the family. That means that people look to me. So if I'm not taking care of myself, how the team gonna survive? You're not taking care of yourself, how your family gonna survive? I'm not concerned about any of the stuff that you're volunteering in. It's great and amazing. Who's pouring into you? Who's making sure you're good? Because this was a charge. This is a domestic violence case. This is a violence case. Dandy Franklin, I don't know who that is related to. I know that's, they said a household resident, a former resident, but this is very concerning, you know, domestic violence cases. These grow legs. You see it every day on the news. Simple DV case in a district court can turn into a FC, a capital case in circuit court for murder. Okay? You know, people come to my court all the time, and I'm even killed. You know, Al Sharpton can walk in here. It's even killed. You know, you have to take care of yourself. You cannot be a mentor to people or mentoring people or in a program if you're not taking care of yourself. And we give you these programs so you can take care of yourself. This probation is selfish. This is for you to work on yourself. You can't bypass this because other things are important. You know, you brought yourself to my court. I didn't. So this is your fourth violation.
If I may explain, Your Honor,
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm very sorry to interrupt. I don't know if I explained this thoroughly before, and it sounds like I did not. My client is the mentee in that relationship. Mr. Maddox has been trying to keep him out of trouble, and some of the things that he's having him doing that volunteering isn't just to show that he's, you know, to the community, a great person. It's part of the program that Mr. Maddox is having him do on his own and has been prior to his, I believe, prior to his probation in this court. So I just want to clarify that it was what I was trying to explain was there was more of a focus that there are people who are trying to work with him. He does have the support of his community and his family, and that's where they've been trying to explain to me the struggles that he has just by nature of having, you know, some difficulties in life, which in part, you know, leads to that SSI and everything like that. Which I do have the documentation for any of these
Okay.
right now.
I didn't mean to cut you off. You can continue.
I'm very sorry, and I didn't cut you off. I just wanted to make sure that you understood that I wasn't trying to talk to him about being, you know, he's a great person, he's a member of the community, but he doesn't do anything, you know, in terms of, you know, leading these towards probation. It's that he's got people working with him to try to build him up, to try to get him to the point and try to get him across that bridge that he needs to cross, especially because of probation elsewhere. One of the main concerns additionally is that we're afraid that if he's, you know, incarcerated for a period of time, he might lose his Social Security, which would put him at a very large disadvantage to try to get back on track, as well as his housing.
Mr. Marsh?
Judge, nobody can help Mr. Robinson but himself. We were here back in October, same similar violations. He wasn't abiding by the court's probation conditions. This court graciously extended his probation and allowed him the opportunity, afforded him the opportunity to do so. And again, he failed to do it over and over again. And again, we're back here in January for the same thing, Judge. I don't believe that probation, I don't believe that Mr. Robinson is going to be successful on probation. Given the history, I would ask that you adopt the recommendation. I believe it's appropriate.
Mr. Robinson, sorry, man, you might have to give that Johnny Cochran closing statement to that jury. Go ahead.
My behalf, or my behalf of everything, you know, paying everything or financially.
I don't really care. I mean, I get the finances part. That's important, but
Yeah,
you're not showing up to other stuff. You're not showing up to testing. You're not showing up to the domestic violence class, the anger management class.
the enrollment for all of that. I'm not financially stable to enroll to everything and pay those portions. I don't work. I can't get a good stable job, even something under the table I can work right now with this on my record. I've been applying. I sat down with my PO on the phone and went over jobs throughout the neighborhood, applied, and no job has hit me back not once. I'm out here, I'm trying. I want better for myself, not for everybody around me. I want better for myself. Because I know what I can be. I know this is just a mess up on my behalf, and I want to get it squared away the best as possible, but I can't because I'm not financially stable to sign up for everything, get everything done.
One thing I didn't know, Your Honor, was that I was informed that since my client's mother does take care of his finances, he does sign over his entire social security income to her, and she takes care of that. She's been advised that she should probably get some kind of guardianship for that relationship. She just hasn't done that yet, but she's working towards that, I believe.
What's the underlying reason for the SSI note? What's the?
I believe there's some diagnosis of ADHD, anxiety, but I believe there's some cognitive issues as well, Your Honor. I do have a copy from Image Center for Psychological Health.
He was placed on probation on this case in 2020. I know we referred him 24. But so basically last year, so he was on probation January 7th, 2025. And so since then, he obtained a new offense out of the Third Circuit Court. He was convicted on that last year, and placed on probation for a year under HIDA. He has a new conviction, so he has a HIDA out of Circuit Court in Detroit. And then he had a misdemeanor offense he obtained while on probation with me again out of Detroit. He failed to appear, and there's a bench warrant status on July 14th. And this offense is still pending. It's just, yeah. My probation department is tiny. They are tiny of cases like this. There's only 2 of them, and they gotta chase y'all all around. Everybody got an excuse, and I'm sympathetic. My brother is handicapped. He has cerebral palsy. So I grew up with a disabled brother for 37 years. That's how old I am. So I am very sympathetic to that. My brother's probably one of the most determined people I know in my life. He plays wheelchair hockey, basketball, all that stuff, went to school. So it's a mindset thing to be great. In my courtroom, in the house I grew up in, excuses were limited. There was no excuse. It's your 4th violation. You've picked up felonies while on probation to me. I'm not about to continue this probation. It would be a miscarriage of justice if I continue this probation. It would be a derelict of my duty if I continue you on this probation. You have to go to jail. You have to go to jail. And you have to think about putting positive things in your life to make meaningful progress. It seems like you're on a stationary bike right now, pedaling and going nowhere. So you have to sit and have a deep interflexion with yourself of what do I need to do to get on the road to success? You got a lot going on. You got a felony out of Circuit Court, and then you got a 36th district case where you got a misdemeanor that's still pending. You still have open court cases that you haven't addressed per this report. Okay? So you need to step back. You need to do a global overview of what's going on here with your life. You need to make a strategic and smart plan on how to attack everything. Okay? I appreciate the mentorship program you in, but this is the court. This is the program you should have been focusing on. You haven't. I've given you ample opportunities. The ball was in your court and you didn't shoot. So it'll be your probation is revoked. You'll be turned over to the custody of Oak County Sheriff, Oak County Jail for 30 days. You're unsuccessfully discharged from probation. And as far as the fines and costs, we'll set those over to collection. So, but all set. Sir, you may step to the phone, but I made my decision.
Yeah, I know that's fine. Yes. First of all, I'm honored to being a judge, especially at such a young age. And definitely understand.
It's there.
Definitely understand. My thing
Give his
is.
name.
I'll state your name for the record.
My name is Antoine Maddox Bay. And I'm a vision behind bars. The thing is that I want to try to put on record, or let's move forward with it, to help him out. Because you are correct. You see it on the news all the time. I deal with a lot of young people. I'm in Detroit. So I deal with a whole lot of young people that's coming in and have a particular mindset. Honestly, he's not going to be able to help himself in there. You and I both know that. Because you need a person that's been self-taught as a fool for a teacher. It's not going to be able to do that. So it's going to be programs with people like himself as well as others. So my thing is, what do we put in place upon his release? Because we don't want to keep perpetuating the same problem. Because
On his release, you got his contact information. You know, take him out, get him in the program, but he has stuff that, do you even know about?
no,
Exactly. So the first thing, he needs to be candid with you and say, this is what I had. That's an honest mentee. But I coach robotics at the Pontiac High School, at the International Technology Academy for the last 12 years. Mentorship. It's what I'm known for around here. To have true mentorship, there needs to be true truth. You know, he needs to let you know, I got all this going on. You know, you sitting up here didn't even know probably about half the stuff I talked about because he's not telling you. So the first thing, he needs to be transparent if he wants real help. You know, so that's, you can continue. I just want
yeah,
to.
so if it's something where you're going to put something in for after the prison, after you finish with 30 days.
Jail 30 days. No, he's released, so he's out there.
Did you finish with this part?
He's done with this, so he, you know, once he gets out of jail, he still got to pay those fines and costs. It's probably something you need to probably help him out. It's, I believe it's 1,000, or he didn't pay anything. We gave him 18 months to pay this, $1,495. But once he's out of jail, he has no other, you know, expectations or requirement of 50th District Court but to pay that $1,495. Outside of that, you know, grab him. Because you don't want forces to grab him to bring him right back. Once he gets out in 30 days, he has a chance to sit and reflect. That's where you can step right in and be like, okay, you just got released from incarceration. What do you honestly have going on with your life financially? I don't know. I have workforce development here. If he's able to get into this and get a job, I'll hand this to you. You can approach. Mr. Carlton Jones here is big in Pontiac on workforce development. I know he may be down in Detroit. Are you originally from Detroit? Is that where you live, Detroit? So there's ample programming down in Detroit for him to sign up with. I know Detroit, Channel 4 has a segment where they talk about skilled trades and stuff like that on Channel 4. I forget the name of it, it escaped my mind. But he has to invest in doing research to make his life better. Because people are begging for plumbers and electricians and carpenters. They're begging because this generation, boomer generation, is retiring, which is creating a shortage. So that's ample opportunity for him to go in and be a millionaire if he puts his mind to it. You know, so once he gets out of jail, you can grab him right then.
Another thing, is there a program that goes to talk to them while they in jail? Because a lot of this why he got this time. And this idleness, is it anything? I know I go to down in Detroit, I go to the juvenile every night whenever they allow me to come in. And more sons to America as well as the Nation of Islam. Is there anything that's in place where people go into them? This is the time to get him while he's going in. Because we thinking that he hasn't done it this far. He's not an exception. This is most of the rule of our young people, right? Like baby boomers, they leaving here. This is the rule. It's not an exception.
Right.
So my thing is there anything in place to go inside while he's sitting there and he has this time to think and to give him the information?
I would contact Brian Killian Bay. Do you know who that is? Brian Killian Bay. He's big here in Pontiac, and he does things of that nature of re-entering brothers or people from the system. I can give you his information, and you can contact him if there's anything for Mr. Robinson. But he's big. Brian Killian Bay, I'll give you his number.
And I'm gonna give you some information that I'll book to me.
I appreciate it.
Your Honor, one more thing, it was requested that, could we also get 60 days for him to be, I believe his mother indicated she would like to try to pay the balancing costs off, prior to collections.
So
I would
I,
ask for 60 days as well.
I'll give 60 days from today, the amount is $1,495. All right, so that's, that takes us to March 23rd, and it's to be paid, or we're sending to collection.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, we're all set, thank you.
Yeah. Can you just give us?